in, we have an awesome speaker today. She is from the TriValley Visitors Bureau. And what did I say?
It's Visit TriValley.
Visit TriValley. And she is, it's TriValley Visitors Bureau, isn't it? It's Visit TriValley. I don't even know who our speaker is today. Okay, so she's coming up to speak to us today, telling us all what's going on in the Tri-Valley. So please give us a warm welcome for Barbara Steinfeld.
We are a Visitors Bureau. We are a Visitors Association, but our name is Visit Tri-Valley. So that's it. We used to be called the Tri-Valley Convention and Visitors Bureau, but we don't book conventions here. And so we are now a Visitors Bureau, but our name is Visit Tri-Valley. It's a marketing name. Before I started telling you about Visit TriValley, I just have to tell you my realtor experience, because the last time you saw me was about a year and a half ago. I've been here for 19 months, and I was stuck in a house in Portland that wouldn't sell, and I was dying to move here, and I didn't know where to go and what to do. And I have a real estate agent that I love, who has now become our friends, because we didn't have any friends here. How sad is that? And I have to say, I work in tourism, and we are definitely type A personalities, but walking into a room of real estate agents, you guys are so far beyond even tourism type A people. It's amazing to me. So that I never thought I would run into a group that was more lively than the industry that I'm in, which is tourism. So, yeah. So, we bought a house finally. So our house sold in Portland. It's a sad story that I won't go into it, but it sold. And we bought a house in San Ramon, and we wanted to move into Windermere so we could see the hills. I needed to see hills and outdoors and hiking and all of that. And there were 9 offers on my house, and we got it. And it was the first house we ever wanted to buy. I mean, that's it. We put in an offer, we wanted that house, and we got it, which is unheard of here, because the people that I talked to scared me so much by saying, we've been trying to find a house for 6 months, and every time we try to buy one, and da-da-da. Anyway, it's only by the grace of our real estate agent that we got the house that we love and live in. So thank you, realtors, for your job and what you do. So now, what do I do? I lose earrings. Visit TriValley is a visitors association, and on the table in the back, I put literature for you. We produce a visitor's guide. We produce a sports guide. The sports guide is really for people that want to book sports conferences, but I put it out there so you can see a sample of what we do. I have a small sample of our annual report, which is things are better when we stick together. And this is what the kind of things that we do in order to promote this region. So, everything is better when we stick together. That's because we've got 5 cities in the Tri-Valley: Danville, San Ramon, Dublin, Pleasanton, and Livermore. Those are the cities that make up what we produce. We have 36 hotels that collect a $2 per occupied room assessment that the hotels agree to assess, and that becomes our budget, more or less. So all of the tourism tax goes right to the cities, but we get that $2. So we have a nice budget, and our obligation, because of that budget, is to produce room nights for those hotels. So how do we do that? What the hotels have told us is, we're fine in the middle of the week, we've got a lot of corporate business, but we need help on the weekends increasing our occupancy at the hotels. So our job is, how do we get people to come to the Tri-Valley on the weekends and stay in hotels? So the way we do that is take a look at what makes us a tourism destination here, and those things are the things that you probably are familiar with. We've got 60 vineyards in the Livermore area, so wine tasting is a big deal for us. We have the Livermore Premium Outlets. We have the adorable downtowns in 3 of our 5 cities, so shopping is another thing that will bring people here for the weekend. We have hiking and biking and golf, so we have the outdoors activities that we can promote that will get people here for a weekend, and we have the arts, and we can get people here for the arts on the weekend as well. So those are the main things that we promote. Then we can book sports tournaments, and that's why I have the sports thing back there. We're going after that. We have a sales manager who's completely dedicated to just booking sports tournaments. And then we're looking at also international markets like the Chinese market, Canadians to come here, because we're right by San Francisco. And people will come from that region, and they'll come out here for shopping, or they'll pass us on the way to Yosemite, and we want them to stay here for heads and beds, because heads and beds is our bottom line. How do we get people to spend the night in this region? So let me give you a little bit of our presentation. Next, please. These are, again, the publications. So that's our visitor's guide and our sports. One of the things we did, we have a lot of beautiful hiking trails in this area that people don't really necessarily know about. So we worked with the Tri-Valley Conservancy based out of Livermore, but they do the whole region. And we put together a beautiful hiking trail guide, and I put copies of that back there for you as well. So it's hiking, biking, and equestrian, and we feature 10 of the trails in the region. Next, please. One of the cool things that we did, so I started my job 19 months ago, and I came into kind of a mess. I came into an organization that needed to be reorganized. So one of the cool things that happened was I worked with US Airways magazine, and we produced an insert that went to 2.5 million people, this thing on the left. And we got a 25-page insert, or it might have been 32 actually when we finished, just on the TriValley in the US Airways magazine that went for the entire month of February, a year ago, onto the airplanes for all of the US air travelers. And it was a fantastic thing. It was a super good deal, and we got in there and we produced this whole insert. So we took that insert from the US Airways magazine and we created our own. So we took it, we bumped it up a little bit, and now we have that little mini visitor's guide, this one here on the right. I put a few of them on the back table, that really talks beautifully about our region. So in addition to our official 80-page visitor's guide, we got this like mini 40-page insert that talks about the TriValley. Next, please. So the kind of things that we do, because most of our money is dedicated to marketing. We are a marketing organization. We do sales, we do sports and tourism sales as well, but the majority is marketing. We did a big shift in our organization to focus on how do we market this region, so people will even know who we are, what we are, that there is a TriValley. So some of the kinds of things that we do, you can see some examples of our advertising. We supported the Little League when it came to Livermore because that brought in people from all over, even the world, to come to this area. We talk about our wine country a lot. We do billboards and print publications, but we're moving away from print and we're really focusing on social media and on our website, which we're improving. So I think let's move on. Next. Some more of the coverage that we get. One of the other things that we do is we work with journalists and bloggers, and we want them to tell our story. Because when we tell our story, that's nice, but that's what people expect. But when you get other people, of course, to tell your story, it's always better. So we host a lot of journalists from television show productions to bloggers to publications. We've gotten coverage in the LA Times recently. We get coverage in the Bay Area. And that's one of the things that we do is bring those writers in, take them around, show off the area, and then we get the coverage. So this is just some example of some of the coverage that we received recently. Next, please. Then we run our own campaigns. So we'll do advertising and marketing in the region to get people to come here. For example, one of the things we did is this Get Pumped campaign. It was just a simple thing to get people to come out here. And if they came and stayed in one of our hotels, because our job is to produce those overnights, then they get a free gas card. And we call it the Get Pumped campaign. Little things like that. We talked about the San Ramon Art and Wind Festival. Come out for the weekend, come to a local festival, and we promoted that in the region as well. So these are just some of the ways, and we try to make sure that we get our hotels in there when we're doing advertising. Next, please. This was very cool because we had 2 film crews come out here recently. I don't know if any of you know on public television there's a show called TravelScope. It's been on for many years. Well, we hosted TravelScope here. And we are going to be on next spring with a TravelScope 30-minute show on the TriValley. And we have the whole crew, and we work night and day, like 14, 16-hour days. And they said that they had never been anywhere that was as nice as here. And these people have been all over the world. Like, they've come from Hong Kong to us in the TriValley, and then they were saying, oh my God, everything here is so wonderful and it's so beautiful and we just love it here, and we were so surprised. And that's the reaction that we get. When we really show people who we are and what we have here, they're always so pleasantly surprised, like, who knew? Who knew? TriValley. So that's what we're really shooting for when we try to put this on television and get the shows out here. And then also, because we're going to go after the Chinese market, and you might say, why China market? We get 480 busloads a year already coming here, full of Chinese visitors going to the Livermore Premium Outlets. And our job is, how do we get them off the bus and to get those heads in bed? So we want to go after that market. They're coming out here already. They're looking for a cheaper hotel room, which compared to San Francisco, we're like a third of the price. A place to park the bus. They want to shop, a little bit of wine country. So that's why we're doing this. So we produced a video in Mandarin with Brand USA, which is the marketing organization for the entire United States. And this is an example of the film crew. We have talent in Mandarin come out and shoot this video. And it's online with Brand USA, being promoted in China so that we can start letting the Chinese market know who we are and why they should stay with us. Next, please. So fam tours, this is a word that's short for familiarization. It's just like your broker tour that you're going to be doing this morning, except we do it for the region. In fact, we have one in right now. The Marriott Hotel Group has a sales office in California, and they're responsible for selling our area, but they don't live here, and they don't know us. So I just met with them for dinner last night, and we're taking them to the Black Hawk Museum today, we're taking them to the Livermore Outlets, we're taking them to Wine Country, we're taking them all over the region, taking them out for dinner, and showing them what we have so when they're selling the Marriotts here, they know the Tri-Valley and love the Tri-Valley. So we were at Blue Agave last night until 9:30, 10 o'clock, having a grand old time, and they're going to go back with wonderful memories of the Tri-Valley and be able to sell and promote it. So they work with the San Ramon Marriott and they work with the Pleasanton Marriott, so they're all over the region, and we want them to know us and love us. We bring in journalists and take them on familiarization tours. We bring in tour operators and take them on. We work with Livermore Premium Outlets. They had journalists coming in from China, and we hosted them when they were here. We've had UK, Germany, and those are called fan tours in our industry. And it's our job to wine and dine them and host them and make sure that they love us and go back and sell us. So this is an example of one of the Marriott fan tours that we've had recently. Next, please. We're also responsible for keeping our industry up to date. In the tourism industry, about every year, maybe a third of the people switch jobs. The salespeople move around and the front desk and all of this, and we need to keep them updated on, well, how do you sell, and who are we, and what do you do, and what have we got? So we do a lot of industry education, and this is an example of, you can see us on segways here. We were doing like a mixer where you sit across the table, like speed dating. And we brought in our hoteliers and we brought in all the attractions of the area, like the Segway Company, or the Wine Trolley Company, or the wine tours, or anything new, the golf club place here that's there. There's a place where you can play golf, simulated here in Pleasanton. All of those places came in, and then we had the hotels sit down and meet with them so they could package the kind of things that we offer here. So we set up that kind of education. We also work with Congress. I sit on the National, U.S. Travel is the name of the National Association for Tourism, and I'm the past chair of the Destinations Council for U.S. Travel. So one of our goals is to understand what Congress is doing and to make sure that Congress is supporting legislation that supports tourism, whether it's transportation infrastructure or any kind of thing that we're trying to get passed, continuing Brand USA as a company. So we had a meeting with Eric Swalwell, our congressman, and we set up a round table with about 15 of us in the tourism industry to meet with our congressman and talk about what are the issues that are near and dear to our heart. And I'm sure realtors must do that as well on a national level, and I don't know if you do or not, but you should have a meeting with Eric Swalwell. He was great, he's a great supporter of ours, and he's wonderful, and it was wonderful to bring our board of directors and other people around the table and actually meet with congressmen. So that's the kind of things we do. Next, please. Beer Trail. This is our latest and greatest. We are looking for something, wine, we're never going to let wine go. We go to the wine shows, we talk about wine. It's a big deal for us all throughout Tri-Valley. But one of the hot buttons these days is beer. And we have a new marketing vice president. She's been with us a little less than 9 months. And she said, you know what, we need a beer trail. And we have gotten such wonderful hits off this. So we're designing a passport with 17 stops on it. And we've already gotten wonderful conversion rates on our website for people who've already downloaded it. And you can go to 10 of the stops on the trail, get a stamp or a sticker or a signature on the little passport, send it in to us, and then you get a shirt. And the shirt on the back says, tap this. And then on the front, it's got Beer Trail, the Tri-Valley Beer Trail. So it's a really cool promotion. We're getting wonderful hits off of this one. And we're just kicking it off, and we're going to be doing a $25,000 ad campaign on the Beer Trail. So it's all over 5 cities, and if a restaurant or a pub has at minimum 12 taps, you have to have 12 taps of draft beer, then you qualify, otherwise you don't. So we limited it right now to 17, and if more come on board. So if all the beer brewers are on board, plus all of the tap rooms, and they're all excited about it. We had a meeting with them yesterday, and everybody's like, yes, finally, we don't drink wine, we want beer. So we're pretty excited about our beer trail, and stay tuned for more of that. We had a journalist in from New York when we kicked off the beer trail, and that's her taking pictures in San Ramon at Chubros, and she's doing a national television show on us as well. Next, please. Romancing the arts. So after, and we have a participant here. Where's Will? And yeah, so Romancing the Arts, one of the things we wanted to do, we wanted to tie the region together for a big campaign in February about romance. So we got all the arts groups together and said, okay, everybody, if you do something, anything that has to do with romance during these dates in February, we're going to create an umbrella campaign and promote Come to the Tri-Valley over these 2 weekends, staying overnight in hotels, and experience romance. And we got all 5 of our cities to participate, and we're doing a big campaign on romance that will follow up on that. We're going to be doing a campaign on restaurant month in January. So we go from beer to restaurant month to romance, and after that we're looking at golf and green for the next campaign. So it's just one campaign after another to raise awareness and get visitors to come to the Tri-Valley. Next, please. So this is some of the examples of some of the social media. We do a lot of tweeting, and we reinstated the blog. So we've got the blog, we've got Twitter, we have the website, which we're redoing. Our website is okay, but it had some glitches, and we're going to relaunch it in April. You always have to keep your website fresh. So we're going to relaunch in April. And anything that we can do to drive traffic to our social media and to our website is what every campaign is really about. So these are just some examples of what people have talked about and things that we've covered throughout this year. We go to different events and we cover them. And I think if we have one more slide, I think we have, if we could do next, please. Yeah, so we work with this company called Tagcast. This was another idea of our marketing VP. They come out with a big camera, well, not a big camera, a small camera and an iPad, and they go to events. So we've gone to the Highland Games, and we went to Splatter, we went to Night of the Dead, in Livermore, and they take a picture on the spot of the people live, and then people put it in on the pad that they've got, and it goes live on their Facebook and their Twitter account right then and there. So we've been working with Tagcast to get out tons of social media live on the spot at all the events that are taking place. And they will be showing up at wine events and Halloween events and fairground events, whatever is lively and full of people, we are paying to have them there to come and shoot out social media from the people that are there on the spot. So we got a lot of buzz, especially on the Night of the Dead. So we're able to label every one of these things going out with Visit Tri-Valley, with the place where it's happening, whether it's Dublin or Boswell Center, plus the event itself. So we really get a nice push on what's happening, and boom, it goes out. And I think, is that our last one? Next? Anything coming up? Oh, our industry events. This is how we work and we sell. So these are some of the events that we go to. We go to an international show where we meet with international tour operators. We go to meet with receptive tour operators. We attend wine consumer events to talk about our region as a wine destination. It's what our salespeople are busy doing, is attending lots of trade shows and having appointments one-on-one in order to get people to book and put us into the packages so that we can sell the Tri-Valley, and I'm sure that that is the last slide. So I wanted to ask if you have any questions for me. It's been a year and a half, and I'm working really hard to get this thing really going so that we focus on marketing and get that social media up where it's supposed to be, and still sell the region for the possible events that we can in tourism, international, and sports. So, any questions from the floor? Yes. That's great. Be sure and tweet about it and Facebook about it and like us on Facebook and share our message, because that's how we get our SEO by doing that. We're right in the process of producing a brand new visitors guide, which will be available at the end of December, beginning of January. So it's going to be a beautiful magazine piece with working with Diablo. Yes, question.
How is the ratio up with hotel visits?
What's going on with the hotels is, for a long time, the rates at the hotel rooms were flat for a really long time. And the occupancy was growing back where it was in years ago, like in 2008. That's the goal. Back in 2008, when things were good, then things dropped. Now they're coming back up. We're back up where we need to be. Now the rates, fortunately, are going up, but the occupancy is flat. For us, all of our money is based on occupancy. Our hotels could go from costing $100 a night to $300 a night because of the good work that we're doing, and it doesn't matter because we get a flat $2 per occupied room rate. So we're happy that the hotel average daily rate, which we call ADR, is rising because it really needs to, but we would love to see the occupancy go up, and that's our goal, is how do we raise the occupancy. So it's holding its own, and it's steady, and it's not bad, but it's really good that the rates are rising.
But what's the ratio? I mean, what is it?
Oh, like,
50% or whatever?
well, it depends, because every day of the week is a different number. So midweek, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when they don't want the help from us, where our occupancies are in the 80s. And then on the weekends, it can drop down to the 60s, 70s. So it drops by 10, 15% on the weekend, which is why they've come to us and said, push that weekend business. Yeah. Any other questions about Visit TriValley? Well, I'm Barbara at visittrivalley.com.
One more
I have
question.
business cards back there. Oh, where?
If I want more marketing material for my office, where would I get it?
You can, normally, we would charge for our visitor's guide if it's not one of our hotel members, but we're at the end of our year and we have materials now that are left over, and you can call our office, come by. We're across the way, we're at 5075 Hop Yard. And you can pick up materials now because we have them. When our new visitor guide comes out, if you're not a hotel or in the, because we're for the hotels, then you can get our materials, but you'll have to pay for the visitor's guides next year. But now, we're in a position of, okay, end of the year sale, all the stuff's available. Anything else? So pick up everything on the back table that you would like. I put a few giveaways back there and all of our materials, and help yourself. And contact me if you need to, Barbara at visittrivalley.com. Thank you.